Assalamu alaikum. My name is Maryam Lemu, and inshallah today I will be sharing with you some very important tips on public speaking. You can't run away from it, wherever you are. If you're a student, if you're in university, or even at work, you might be called upon to speak in front of a group, small or large. Sometimes at a religious gathering, we may be called upon to speak. And sometimes also at social events, weddings and so on, someone may ask you, give advice to the bride and groom. Well, inshallah, today we will be covering several topics. One of the most important ones is public speaking phobia. This is one of the biggest myths out there, that a lot of people are absolutely frightened of something, yet there actually is a very simple solution to this thing called public speaking phobia, standing in front of a group and picturing them laughing at you or being very critical of you. And this puts a lot of fear in our hearts before we go and stand in public. And we've absolutely condemned our presentation before we've even opened our mouths. We shall, inshallah, be going into the most important reasons why we should improve our public speaking or presentation skills. I think one of the most important points is that it is a strong leadership quality. It helps you get respect because you can speak and express yourself eloquently and your message gets heard. It gives you a lot of self-confidence, and I think most importantly, it makes you an asset. It gives you certain things that help you utilize your skills and express your message in a very simple and effective way. Now, there's a big difference between knowing your stuff and knowing how to deliver the goods. You could have a PhD in a particular subject or topic. However, you may not be very effective in getting or communicating that message you have. Now, there are very many different types of presentations out there. There is impromptu, where you've had absolutely no prior knowledge of what you are going to be asked to speak about, and so they call upon you and tell you to talk. No preparation whatsoever. Some people are really good at speaking off the cuff, as they say. Then there is speaking from the heart, where you don't have a paper presentation. You express yourself from the bottom of your heart and bring your emotions to bear in your speech. Then there are paper presentations where you've had much advance notice and you're able to put a presentation together in writing and then present it, sometimes seated, sometimes standing up. Then there are presentations where you may need to use an aid like a board or a whiteboard or a projector. Then sales presentations, ideas presentations, and be a facilitator of a workshop where you need to carry everybody along. Think about people whose public speaking skills you admire, eloquent speakers, some people, celebrities or people on TV, leaders, whose qualities in presenting you want to emulate. Think about what is it you admire the most about their style. Is it how they speak? Is it how they pace up and down the floor where they are presenting, how they're sitting, how poised they look? Is it their voice, their tone, their sense of humor, and how they carry people along? There are so many qualities out there that we can look at and actually start to practice. Now, this practice is so key to your success when it comes to public speaking. There are two main ways of learning how to be an effective speaker. The first is through formal training, such as this one that we're going through with you right now. You can take courses, there are courses online, you can take formal courses, sometimes crash courses on public speaking, and there are reading guides that will help you. There are videos available, audiobooks that can teach you how to be an effective speaker. Then the other one is by giving regular presentations. And many people actually learn how to be effective speakers through that method because they've not been given an opportunity to get the formal training. So this method is actually the easiest one because you get to practice over and over again, get feedback, ask people who care, friends, loved ones, to critique you. And by getting that feedback, you start to fine-tune and hone in your skills on public speaking. It's important you remember that great and effective speakers are not born with this skill. They learn it. It's just not naturally in them. They actually learn it. Sometimes from a very early age, they start to practice and then they become really, really good at it. They watch others. But it's good to remember that those speakers whom we admire, we think, oh, they've got this thing down pat, also get nervous. So this emotion we feel, we shouldn't believe that it's just us that go through it, that others go through it, even the most effective speakers. I learned that Winston Churchill, one of the greatest leaders that Britain has ever seen, used to have stage fright. I know this musician, Barbara Streisand, she's got a beautiful voice, but before she goes on stage to speak to sing, she also gets stage fright. Now, there are many fears out there. A lot of people are afraid of so many things. Some are afraid of animals, poverty, financial problems, insects. Like, I just absolutely hate spiders and I'm frightened to death of them. Some people are afraid of death. However, you'll be amazed that there was a survey that was conducted of what is the greatest fear out there that most people have. And believe it or not, it's public speaking. People are more afraid of public speaking than they are afraid to die. So what is this phobia? What are we actually afraid of? When speaking in public, you're being assessed not only by your ability to speak, but your ability to think at the same time. How do you connect the brain with these lips and the words that come out of it? Sometimes you find you're not able to put them in sync. I love this quote that says, the brain starts to work the moment you are born and stops the moment you stand to speak in public. So, how many stories do you have, or have you heard, or have you seen of people who have stood in public and are absolutely frightened to death, where you know they literally wish the ground would open up and swallow them? Probably you might be one of those. You may have concerns about your presentation. You may have concerns that you will forget your lines. Sometimes this has happened. Somebody stands in public to speak and their brain just shuts down. And you can tell that suddenly this fear goes through them. Absolute fear. Fear that all eyes will be on you. I think more than anything is the biggest concern that many people have, that they stand in public and everybody has two eyes and everybody is staring at them. You may be afraid that people will laugh at your presentation, or that they may just absolutely not be interested in your message and think that you're not making any sense at all. As I said, you may actually wish the ground would open up and swallow you. There are so many excuses that people give not to give a presentation in public. Some may say, oh, no, please don't call on me. I don't have anything to say. Some may just be afraid that they're going to make a fool of themselves in front of their friends, family, or the public. Some are just absolutely nervous and just cannot even accept any opportunity to stand and speak. Some suddenly develop a cold and they say, I have a sore throat and unfortunately I cannot speak today. They turn down a presentation that has already been booked like months in advance due to fear. And all of a sudden, you find another excuse is they lose their loved ones. My grandmother, her cousin died and we are very close. We need to go and condole the family. But it's really important that we overcome this fear. It inhibits us from achieving some of our greatest potential. Many of us have a strong message that we need to be able to communicate. Unfortunately, holding us back is this public speaking phobia. And so this is such an important area that, inshallah, we'll be going through in a series of sessions that I would look forward to having you join us when we present them next time. We'll be going through stage fright and how to overcome them. So I hope you will join me. Assalamu alaikum.